Good morning. Today I want to be talking about my map that I made for Lab 2 Mapping the Money for my Intro to GIS class, Geography 2011 lab. And we have 3 questions to answer today, and so I'll get started with the first one. So the justification for the classification and color schemes that I used here, as far as the color goes, I did more of a saturation based scheme here. Even obviously the hue is green. The green is for money. Generally, when I think of money, at least in America, I think of green, which a lot of people do as well. I found out, and so the Manson text says that it's often smart to make your color scheme as something that a lot of people refer to. So like for calming colors or something less intense, you would use blue. For something more intense, we use red. But money really doesn't have an intensity, I would say. So green works just fine in this case. And the reason I chose red for the dots here is because red stands out from green very well, and that way you're able to see the colors exceptionally well. And the classification scheme I use for this map will be natural breaks. I can show you that here. As you can see here, natural breaks. The reason I chose natural breaks for this map is because the natural break method is really good at maximizing differences between the classes, so it makes the map it makes the area stand out better, and also minimizes the differences inside of each class, so you don't have 1,000 different values. All I've done here is just open up the data file for the map, which is a CSV file, opens with Excel. And all I wanted to do was show why natural breaks kind of helps mitigate this. This column here is what we're looking at. We have very small differences between the data here. It would be impractical to have all of this data in different ranges, and we'd have thousands of different ranges because the data differences are just so small. So natural breaks just kind of groups all of these really small changes together into larger groups so that we can simplify the map and have a much smaller scheme range, and so the map will look prettier, for lack of a better term. And finally, answering the final 2 questions, we will zoom in to actually my hometown or my home census tract and check the rate here. So we're going to come up here to the information tool. We're going to click on my census tract, and as you can see, for my home census tract, the rate above $100,000 a year was 9.83%. Something interesting for the last question is that in almost every case, the high income households are centered around the suburbs of the city. So that means that they're not in the center of the city. So most of the high income households are on the outskirts, like even for cities I don't know really well, like Nashville, Tennessee here. You can see the high income households are centered around the outside of Nashville. So this is more the southern part of the city, the center is there. And down here in a more known place like Atlanta, we can see the suburbs are where most of the high income households are, around Duluth and Gwinnett County up here. And you can see southern Atlanta is kind of not very well off at all. And even Athens, you can see down in southern Athens there, and a couple other cities, major areas around in Kentucky. These cities here, as you can see, they're on the outside. They're not really towards the center of the city. They're on the outside. So that's a trend all around the country, even far out here in Arizona. You can see California is a little less migrated, but they're still not really towards the center of the city. They're still mostly around the outside. So that's probably the biggest thing that I saw across the whole map. Thank you for your time.